Hey guys, Luke here and welcome back to episode 3. This is season 2 of Win 1 Take 1 and I'm very excited to be bringing you this video. Now this episode we're going to be taking on the Canberra Raiders and the Brisbane Broncos. Now I think this is going to be a really good episode in terms of players that are available to get and just the game in general. Reason being, for the Raiders, they are a bit of a bogey side for myself. I have a lot of trouble beating them. I don't particularly know why. The team's not outstanding or anything. I mean, they got some okay players, but nothing that's out of this world or anything. Probably obviously reflective of their position on the ladder in 2013. They weren't that good. Broncos on the other hand, they have a pretty good side. I'm not sure what went wrong for them that year. Was it injuries? I can't really remember, to be honest, but they've got a lot of international rep players who could come in handy, very handy I'd say. But we have a pretty good start here for us, and if you didn't see the last episode, we picked up Josh Dugan, so he returns to Canberra. Hopefully he can have a big game for us. And Chris Lawrence shifts to the centre, obviously, now that we've got a proper fullback. So Lawrence only playing the 2 games at fullback, but he played quite well there. Tim Simona probably should have scored there. We picked him up against the Tigers as well with Chris Lawrence. Chris Lawrence only played 1 game, I should say. We went the short side with Mitch Rain, who we picked up from the Dragons in the last episode as well. He couldn't make it to the line, so that was a wasted play. Moi nearly got his hands to that, but being Dane Tills, I suppose he's got the height on Moi, so he's probably the favourite to get that one. But it would have been nice if Big Philly could have got the ball. But he's going to follow it up with a huge hit on Sean Fenson. Sean Fenson, we know he's a workhorse, but Philly just going to get him all day, every day. Now Philly forces another mistake there. Well, not another mistake, but a big tackle which forced the mistake. Too bad we can't capitalise on it. Jared Croker gets an intercept. He drops the ball, but it falls back to Joel Thompson, who he's another one I'd be fine with getting in the side. Very versatile. Jared Croker from one headgear to another to Sam Williams, who's in this side. I think in 2013 he played, 2014 he was gone, 2015 he's back at the Raiders. Chris Lawrence picks the ball up, nearly gets it around. I'm not sure if that's Williams or Croker. I'd say that's probably Croker that time. Then Tim Simona got to put a grubber in for himself, and he scores, and that opens the scoring. 4-0 is after 29 minutes, so pretty much half an hour gone. And Josh Dugan's going to be the goal kicker. He got selected by default, but I think that's because Reese, who was our centre beforehand, he got taken out of the side for whatever reason, so I think I had to put him back in, or if I did, and just never remember to put him as the default goal kicker. Tim Simona, he picks off not an intercept, but the little grubber right in half time. And at this stage, like all these tries that are scored, especially those easy ones like this one, I'll take him every day of the week against these sort of sides like Raiders. Like I said, my bogey side. The team we've got just isn't that great, so defending your own line is quite hard. It is getting a little bit easier with the more players we're getting in our side, but overall it is quite hard to defend, especially when we bring on some reserves and that sort of stuff. Because at this stage, our forward pack's pretty decent. Moi, Trent Merrin, this Bell chap seems to be okay. So we've got a few decent players. Now Owen's going to put up a bomb here. Dugan's going to get under it. Can Dugan get it? No, he can't. It's going to fall back to Shiloh. And yeah, that's the end of the play. Now, our player gets absolutely destroyed there. I think it was Parry or something like that. What happened there was, I saw the play going on, and I was like, oh yeah, this is looking alright. But the game had different thoughts as to what was going to happen. And for some reason, when I did the pass to playmaker, it just stopped. It stopped dead in his tracks. I couldn't move, as if he was on a standing start for some reason, even though he was running before that. There was a few little shitty offloads in and about that play there, but we made a break up the right-hand edge, and I think that sort of just cemented the win. Whether we score here or not, which we don't, Reece Robinson makes a tackle on Fui. How realistic is that? Not very, I'd say. But yeah, I think that just got us out of trouble. Like I said, we're making a few errors towards the back end of the game. Could have easily conceded an intercept, but we didn't, and that's the main thing. And we're going to get another 3 players, and I'm just glad to get that Raiders game over and done with. Knights are another one who are bogus side. Number 10, 7, and 15. So I'm pretty happy to pick up a half. Because, like I said in previous episodes, maybe it was in the second episode, it's really hard to play with these halves. Just the fact that they can't kick in field goal situations and that, just not great. So Sam Williams, good pickup. Dane Tills was the first one, I think, as well. So he, a welcome addition into the side. And Joel Edwards, I would have been happy if it was sort of maybe real life Joel Edwards, but on this game he's just another generic forward. I mean, in real life he's not great. Like that great either, but he's nothing special in this game at all. But he'll come into the side for the time being. See here, just needed to get rid of a few players because we had a maximum amount of players in the squad, but we went and added them in. Second game, taking on the Broncos. This is our away kit. As you can see there, it's in the green. The two colours have no correlation to each other, pink and black, and a lime green. Yeah, like I said, no correlation to each other. Doesn't really mean anything. I just copied the original team that I took over. Just copied their sort of colours that they picked. I sort of wish I went for a more fluoro green, to be honest with you, but too late now. As the Broncos are running out, a lot of good players there. Ben Hanna is one I could see right there. I wouldn't mind him. He'd be a nice one. Hoffman, Ben Hunt, a few players. It would be great. I don't even think Ben Hunt was in the halves at this stage. I think it was Wallace and Prince. Now we throw an intercept here. Josh Maguire, thankfully, not fast enough to make it to the line, or maybe we had a little bit too much stamina to get there. But it doesn't really matter. They're going to go and pick up the first points anyways. It was a little bit later, but obviously they're going to pick up a try. Nonetheless, just very disappointing. Not a great start that you want, especially against the Broncos. They're a great side. Corey Parker, just going to get over pretty easy. Joel Edwards had a pretty good attempt, but he can't go low in that situation. But it doesn't help that we had Fui rush out of the line. They got the pass off before he made his shot, and the follow-up tackle was missed. So not a great start. Once again, I've said it already 3 times, or whatever. But it is the truth. Scott Prince slots the conversion. So 1 from 1 there. It's up to us to strike back nice quick, I'd say. So Dragons connection strikes there. Merrin to Wayman. Now we've got the numbers on the left hand side here. You can see we've got 3 and 2 at this stage. So we're just going to have to use it. And if we don't use it very well at this stage, but we still got the players there. Mitch Rain takes it to the right hand side, creates the overlap, and there we have it. Chris Lawrence in the corner. Now just a little bit of a tip for you guys. I know it's very late on in Rugby Live 2 last span. Rugby Live 3 is just about to come out as we slot the conversion. The pole actually, or the upright actually got lost in with that big pole behind it, but whatever, shade over. Now, in those sort of situations, if you want to create a bit of an overlap, just go the other way and then pass it back across. So, like if you go right, pass it back to left. I don't really know how to explain it, but just do what I did there, and it seems to work very well. I've done it all the time I've been playing this game, and it's not foolproof, but it's quite good in those situations to create an overlap. And Josh Dugan, he just jumps on the ball there, and we just defended our ass off there for a while, and it all turned out pretty well. Now the ball did actually touch a Broncos defender just there, so Josh Dugan, he's got to pick up the ball, but we do get a repeat set of 6 here, so we can capitalise on that, but we're not going to. Cunningham straight over the sideline. That is my fault and Mitch Rain's fault. Going down the short side when it was never on. But, there was always that little bit in my head that was like, oh, maybe we can just catch him out. Obviously, it didn't work. And we also had a nice little play on before, as well as that one there, the inside ball. I really like the inside play. It always looks nice. Too bad we didn't have Josh Dugan on the end of that one. But the one before, we made a break, and I was sort of hoping for the player who was standing directly behind me to sort of go to the left, but he didn't. And we ended up just throwing it like 20 metres behind us. So 6 all is at full time, our first golden point game. We're looking for, a big hit here. Michael Wayman comes up with a huge hit. And there's the knock on. There's the area that we wanted. Now we got Owens on the ball here. And unfortunately, he is the wrong one that we wanted. We need a Sam Williams on it. A Josh Dugan, someone on it. And it just really sucks. That was a blown opportunity. Now we just got to defend. We got to defend really well. Corey Norman in at fullback there. And who needs to defend when you can get an intercept? Chris Lawrence. Game, set, and match. 10-6 is going to be the final score. 82 minutes in. And yeah, golden point, we win, and we're going to be getting 3 players from the Broncos. I'm very, very happy about that. Now, I know who we get. I don't want to spoil it, but we do get some pretty solid players, I think. Nothing outstanding, but, some nice players. I mean, out of all the players we could have got, probably could have got some better ones, but, like I said, we'll take them at this stage. So we get 5, 9, and 7. So let's look at the first player. Jiraiya Yee, excellent player. We do need another winger. Obviously, there's been a lot of times we've made a lot of breaks in this series so far and just haven't been able to finish them. Not enough pace or strength or anything, and he should slot in nicely. Andrew McCullough, one of the only positions we got a player covered for that, and that's Mitch Rain in there. So I'm not sure if I'll use both of them at the same time, rotate them, play McCullough in the forward somewhere. I'm not really sure. But Peter Wallace, just what we needed. They're not the most flashy players, but they'll get the job done. And to end the episode, we'll just show you putting them in the squad. So, you know, a halves combination of Williams and Wallace, pretty good kicking game, I'd say, as well as Dugan at fullback and McCullough for hooker, probably. Anyway, this is where the video is going to end. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you can leave a like, that'd be very much appreciated. 20 is what we're going for. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at MrLukeMYT. Twitter handle is also, it's in the description if you want to see it. And Facebook page also in the description below. And leave comments and all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.